Hi everyone, it's Yvette Le Blowitz here and welcome to my YouTube channel and to the SPAITGIRL Talk Show podcast with myself. I put a question out there to all of you in the SPAITGIRL community about what topics you'd like to hear more about, or conversations, or words of wisdom, or questions that you might have for myself or for anyone else. So one of the questions that has come up is, what do you do when you're feeling stressed and under pressure? So good question. Look, with so much content out there now and the requirement, if you're a creative or you're working in a business or for a brand or you're in marketing or you're just consuming the amount of content that's out there, it can be really overwhelming, the amount of information. And on top of that, add in your life, your job, your children, and all of the other pressures you're also under. And it can get really, really stressful and hectic in next to no time. So one of the things I like to do is simply, if I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed, I will tune into becoming more mindful and present. So instead of being caught up in thought when you're making a cup of tea or a coffee in the morning, I tune my attention inwards, actually what I'm doing. So the pouring, the making, the scent, the smell, I'm using all my senses, taste when I get to taste it, just to really ground and become present. But another really great thing you can do when you find that your mind is in the future because you're racing ahead of time, like you're literally, you can be in the shower but you're thinking of your meeting and whatever's going on. Some of the things you can simply do is just tune back inwards onto your own breath. So focus on your breath. What you can do also is a really simple technique where you're just inhaling to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhaling to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What you're doing here is bringing your mind and connecting it with your body and your soul. So you feel whole. It brings your awareness back in and off thought, and you literally have to use your body and focus, concentration, and on the mind. So it becomes one again. And you don't need to close your eyes for that. You can simply tune in to your own breath anywhere, anytime. And even if you don't do the count, but you become mindful of your own breath, as in inhaling and exhaling. Anyone can do this. As long as you're alive and you're breathing, you can become present in your body and your breath and not be caught up in thought, which a lot of us all are, as you know. Another thing I like to do is I have to coordinate quite a lot. I have so many creative projects on the go, and I'm a creative thinker by nature. Now, a lot of us can overthink. Overthink, yes. Okay, so if you're an overthinker, like I am, then one of the best tips I have learned, which can I say is gratitude to girl boss Nadine, who shared this amazing tip with me, and at the time I took it on board, gave it a go, and it works a treat. So if you have so much going on in your head, thoughts and feelings and emotions and so much just happening, and you have so many projects on the go, you have to coordinate so much. One of the best things I've found is if I make a list of what needs to get done and I break it down step by step, it becomes less overwhelming and I don't feel as much under pressure or like stressed out, because I'm literally writing what I need to do, and it becomes, in a sense, a bit of a to-do list. But then I can plan out when I need to do it by and how, and because it's extracting it out of me, the wisdom, the knowledge, the know-how, and I'm putting it on paper, I feel like it's better out than in. So I created this mantra, it's better out than in, and I mean that with thoughts, feelings, emotions, that sometimes sitting down with a pen and paper, if you're not journaling, but simply writing out your to-do list or what you need to do or what you want to work on, and really getting clear on that can just help bring the feeling of I have 101 things to do, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. And then sometimes the mind just can't process too much. It's just like, woo, and it all gets too much. But when you just sit down, simply become present in yourself with a pen and paper, and you look at the week ahead or the month ahead or whatever it might be you're working on, and you really step it out, break it down, it just becomes so much easier. And I'm talking about the simplest things like your mum's birthday. You have to buy a card. You have to buy a present. So you have to factor this in. So planning it out, writing it out, getting it down can just help relieve the stress, anxiety, pressure, overwhelmment, and it can help those overthinkers who think a lot but don't put thinking into action. It can really help you in taking action. And I hope that really helps you in the planning phase. The other thing I love to do is visualization. So many of you have asked, how do you get up in front of people, hundreds of people, and speak without any notes, or they're going to be asking you questions on the floor? How do you do it? So I think for me, I always visualize before I go on stage or before I speak. Just simply, it's like a mental rehearsal, but it's very much going through, right, I'm going to be in front of 100 people or whatever it might be. They'll be sitting down in a boardroom. I'm going to walk up, present and talk from my heart and my soul. And because I'm speaking my truth, I don't get nervous. But if you're really, really fearful and it stresses you out, then one of the great tips you can do is just simply, when you're in a calmer state, start visualizing and imagining and seeing mentally you going on stage, you speaking in front of people, you walking confidently up, owning the stage and speaking from your heart and soul with so much passion and purpose. And then that takes the fear away. However, on the day, if you're still totally freaking out, your leg is literally shaking because you have to deliver this speech for work or whatever it might be, then that's really when you want to tune in and focus in on your breath. Just calm the central nervous system down. Just bring that overactive, fearful mind, stressed out, bring it just back down to earth, back down to the ground, back to your core, and just focus on your breath with the knowing that everything is going to be okay. You are just simply doing a talk, whatever it might be on. And when you focus on the talk or the presentation, is about helping others or informing others or serving others, and it's just not about you. It's about what can they take away from the talk you're giving. When it becomes about others and the message that you have to help others, that's when you can really just go, this isn't all about me. I'm actually here to help other people, to share my words of wisdom. And if it can inspire one person or help one person, I've made a difference today. So by looking at a greater cause or a greater purpose, or making a change or a difference, that also can help. But definitely visualization, breathing, and rehearsing and visualizing before the day. Okay, so obviously exercise without a doubt. If you're feeling really stressed out, we all know the research is there, is that exercise can help basically release good, feel-good endorphins. It's the best medicine on Mother Earth. It's energy. It just helps relieve stress in so many ways, and it gets your circulation going, your heart pumping, and there's nothing better than a good workout. So even if you're feeling really stressed, you've got low energy, they're the days that you want to go out and do a little bit of something. I'm not talking run a marathon. I'm just saying get some fresh air, get some walking in, any kind of movement you love, whether that's swimming, dancing, just having fun. You don't have to take the exercise serious, but it's there for you as a release. Remember when you were a small kid and you used to just love turning on the music and dancing like you were the pop star, you were the next rock star, the next pop star of this world, of this earth, and you just felt so good inside. They're the kind of endorphins you want to be tapping into, your inner kid. So however you do that, find a way of moving that makes you feel good. And the way I move to the way you move is going to be so different. So it's about finding what makes you feel good with your movement and doing that. And it goes the same for meditation. Whilst I could say I love sitting up straight with no music and just tuning into sound, because when you tune into sound, that can also help calm and make you feel more present and more relaxed. So whilst I might say I like sitting up with my eyes closed, with no music on, or laying down, that doesn't mean that's going to work for you either. Once again, when it comes to meditation, it's very much about exploring meditation as a journey. You are discovering yourself, your heart, your mind, your soul. It's a journey of self-discovery. And sometimes doing it just for 10 or 12 minutes might not be enough. If you're feeling so stressed out and you really want to relax the muscles from your head to your toe, you might need more. You might need an hour. You might need 2 hours. You might need 20 minutes. So I would inspire you not to get caught up on the minutes. I'd inspire you to just try different types of meditation on YouTube. There are apps, but there's nothing better than also training yourself to be able to sit in your home or anywhere. And I love to just sit on the floor, literally in cross-legged position, with my palms open to receive, with basically just there with my eyes closed and just tuning into my breath. And I find by training myself with no music that I've got to work a lot deeper. Things are going to come up for me. My inner voice is going to speak. Things are going to arise. So I get to really tune in with my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings. I become the observer of that. But it's a really great way to know the day you don't have access to the smartphone, to the app, and you're really overwhelmed, you're really stressed, you could be having a panic attack, whatever it might be. If you can learn the skills without needing to go onto YouTube to do the lie down meditation, to get on the app to calm yourself down, if you can just focus inwards on your breath and bring your own stress levels down and bring that stressed out mind, overactive thoughts, if you can just bring and sit in peace and harmony, in total bliss, just by yourself as you are. And once you learn these skills, they'll take you through the rest of your life. So I believe we can all train nearly monk-like at home. And you do not need to go off to a nunnery or somewhere. If you want to, that is great. But I do believe we have the power to sit by ourselves, with ourselves, that we might be living in times now which is all about sitting and doing and looking and being connected, and to the point that that can actually make us feel in increased anxiety or agitated or like, and then we go to a shop, and can we stand there in the lineup without looking at our phone? Do we feel like we need the urge of just looking and doing? Or, so what I love to do is practice when I'm in a store. I practice mindfulness. So being able to stand in a lineup, whether that's at the shopping center, whether that's getting food, and be fully present. No phone, no distractions, just so aware of the people around me, the person who's serving me, what's going on in front of me, and just becoming fully present. I know there's a time and place for having to look at Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it might be, Twitter. I get it. I'm an online blogger at SPAITGIRL.com, SPAITGIRL_travel on Instagram, and SPAITGIRL talk show podcast. Totally get it. But what happens is when you're always in the moments doing something and connecting and holding, you really start to lose the art of just being, of being present. And so many people are feeling stressed and unhappy, and they're wondering why. And I truly believe a lot of it just comes from not being with yourself enough and not connecting with your own self and your own breath and being fully present. You're either caught up in thought, in emotion, in doing with someone else's life or energy or what, you know, comparison, or like, oh my God, you know, we're all on this quest of popularity. We get told we've got to grab the most amount of attention. You've got to do 80 posts a day, all of this jazz. But really, what is the point of all of this if we're feeling totally stressed, overwhelmed, and disconnected with our being and with ourself? So I inspire you today to just tune into your own breath, however that might be, eyes closed, eyes open, just listening to the sound around. Like if I was quiet for a moment, just to show you an example, I would just tune in to the sound. You might hear the air conditioning on, the fridge, whatever the sound is. Sound is consciousness, and tapping into that makes you feel really present. Obviously exercise till your heart's content. Surround yourself always. In stressful times, you do not want to surround yourself with pessimistic people, people who are very low on energy, who are going to bring you even further down. This is a time when you need to tap into tuning into yourself and relying on that you have the ability to create inner bliss, peace, harmony, and to be at ease. Because sometimes it doesn't matter how many times we talk about a situation and dwell on it. Dwelling doesn't actually fix it. But getting to the core of surrendering and detaching and becoming in the now, because what can happen is we can be so caught up in thought of the past and then in thought of the present that we're going between the two. And the only way we can become fully present in the now is through the breath. Visualization, of course, if you want to reduce that stress, but also focusing in to what is in front of you. Every step you take, where is the foot going? Every person you're with, what are they saying? What are they doing? Like how are you feeling the experience? So it's all about experiencing life. This is life now. Right here, right now, as you tune into my YouTube today, this is life. Life lives within here, as well as connecting to the elements of Mother Earth. But your life is your breath. Your life is your breath. So the more you can tune into your own breath, the better you can feel from within. So I hope that helps you today, and I really hope you enjoyed tuning in and listening into some more insights and some more of my daily spiritual practices that I do, not for religious reasons or anything like that, purely that I've discovered that by doing these things, they've made me feel more connected within. They've made me feel more joyous, more gratitude, kinder person, a much better person, because when I'm less stressed, so is everyone else around me, and I can make a better impact in the world by simply tuning into my breath and reducing the stress. When you're really stressed, you should all know this, and I can even be someone who has done this or experienced this. When you're stressed, it can be easy to get angry, to have anger, resentment. All kinds of things can come up for you, emotions that aren't going to serve yourself the best or someone else. But when you come from a place of balance, ease, peace, bliss, joy within the body, then when things happen on the outside, you're also much more connected on the inside, that you're not kind of reacting to it in a